All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful evening. It was the last day of the month, and my, oh my, was this absolutely insane. We were just talking about all of the history and what we went through, but oh man, when I show you this, you are going to trip out. So I'm going to get to it here in a little bit, but after yesterday, we had a very good watch list. I really hope you guys watched it by now, but we don't have as much, but we got a couple more events leading us into the final days, and there is some big things we got to talk about. So I'm going to go over some data, what to expect, what happened here on the month. I do have some pretty pictures for you. We're going to talk about some things that have been misrepresented and your opportunity, and then we got some plays. We had some good ones, and then the long term and everything else in between. But Chatadonia, before I get into it, hold on. I'm just going to show you. I'm not going to ruin it, okay? I'm not going to wait. April is green. So yes, this was literally the best rally in history in 1 month. Okay? It's not over. That's not it. That's not the crazy part. This is the crazy part. Are you ready? We're going to turn the daily chart into a monthly chart, okay? Are you ready? So there you go. Right here. What do you see? That candle's fake. It's actually green because of the after hours. Bro, I don't think people are fully comprehending this. This means in 30 days, you literally traded the whole entire year. Do you understand that? So, call it whatever you want. But in 30 days, you moved the entire last year and back. That is absolutely wild. And here's my conclusion. I'll show you it. I'll post it on Twitter because I wanted to take a look at my sister's account. And I sent her a message, and like I told you guys, I tell you the same thing I tell my family. And what I told my sister is, look, you see the market, and you see your portfolio. If you ignore the liberals and the trumpets, you will make some money, and you will be okay. The world is not that insane. So it'll make sense when we get into our first key here, but I'm telling you guys, this was absolutely massive, and we have a lot more in store, baby. Yeah, I said trumpets. I call them trumpets. I do. Yeah, come on, baby. But good evening. What's going on, baby? What up, Joey Kakamo, Mr. Buyout, Alex Enzo, Makeup, BC, Brian, Mr. Edwards, James. Oh, good day, Star, baby. Godfather, Rocky Top, Blade, Candy Upton, Johnny, JG, baby, Techno, Most Dope, Andy, Connor, El Chaparro, Senor, Mercy, Big Daddy, Mr. Gump, Samuel, Mo, Jamal, Brandon Cruz, ZW, Thoughts and Emotions, Mr. Orman, Mavis, Ivy, Truth, Vacation Time. What up, Johnny B. Good? What up, Daniel? What up, baby? Are you kidding me? What up, Mr. Mosby? As Joshua answers to a hater, you know what I'm saying? Tell him, let him know. Let him know. J Biz, what's going on? What about that Twitch? So Twitch, you guys are here. How are you doing? Hello, Blue 42. Hello, Shank Sinatra. Hello, Oddity. How are you, Tivor? What up, Shank? Tivor, Tim Whitman, Shank Sinatra, Blowing Dough, Rocky Bow Blowout, Toy Soldier, Jamie, Epic Eric Match. What's going on, baby? His name's Shank Sinatra. Yeah, what do you... So, Chad, I hope you guys are ready. We have a lot, so I've kind of learned a little bit from yesterday. We'll kind of go over the keys, and then I'm going to dump the pretty pictures on you because there will be a couple of things that'll make even more sense. So, before I do that, though, I am going to show you one chart because this is relevant. This is Trump 1.0 versus Trump 2.0. We've been giving you updates on this as it's been flowing through, and after April, after all of this, it's kind of wicked because you're definitely different than Trump 1.0, but we are kind of getting to one of those swings. But even in Trump 1.0, man, we still are going to get a lot of stuff. So I know you might feel excited. There's a lot of things going on. Your long-term still up. Woo! But at the end of the day, any other times we have witnessed volatility, it usually comes back, okay? And that's where I could show you this other chart because anytime you have dropped 15% and then came back up or it ended, about half of the time since 1957 you have a recession. So literally, we do not know if what's going to happen still. I hate to break it to you. There's no real history. Like I told you, you get back-to-back years of 20% plus. That was a big thing we came into on this year. You know what I'm saying? But right now, the growth debate, the inflation debate, like we talked about last night, that's still there. And people might feel good, but there is still a lot in store. And generally, when equities and stuff moves like this, half of the time it leads to a recession. There has been times, even recently, 2022, January 2022 to October, that was 25% top to bottom, and that didn't lead to that. So we will see. I don't know. What are you guys saying? Elon is stepping down from the White House, kind of. They said he's not in the office, but yeah, are you guys just distracting me here in the evening? So that's not fun. Let's get that out the way. But so either way, I hope you guys are ready for this, but you are not out of the woods at all. Okay, so keep that in mind, but we will see. I'm clapped. I'm lagging. Mad lag. That's weird. It hasn't cut me out yet. YouTube probably wants the info. Tesla board is searching for a new CEO. Analysis, yeah. Tesla board open search for a CEO to succeed Elon Musk. All right, well, I timed out the other homie because I thought he was lying. Apologies. That's what I said. I checked. I was like, nothing's really moving. But it is an analysis article. So a month ago, board members reached out to several executives to search forms on a process for finding Tesla's next chief executive. Tensions had been mounting. Sales and profits were deteriorating. Musk didn't push. Starting next month, he said, I'll be allocated more time. Yeah, honestly, I think it might just be it's Wall Street Journal, executive analysis. So yeah, I don't know. Am I back? Am I back on there? But yeah, you did have that. No, there's a Wall Street, it just came out. Wall Street Journal, Tesla opened up a search for a CEO to succeed Elon, but I did kind of skim through it, but it doesn't seem like, yeah. I am on the after hours chart. That's what I was saying. There's no real reaction. So, interesting, but even more interesting is what you guys just went through. So, let's get into the keys and we'll go over the pretty pictures, but at the end of the day, my friends, this month was a perfect example of why sometimes smashing your computer and looking away and not listening to the news, you know what I'm saying? That would have been your best strategy. Sadly, I can't. That's why I'm telling you, all of the comments I've made over the last couple months, everything we've been trying to explain, I hope you realize it. No, this was absolutely... I didn't even realize it in the middle of it, And I'm glad that it took 4 months and a 20% drawdown to pry the money from our hands on that cash. But I'm glad we picked some things up. But at the end of the day, man, that was too much. And we're going to talk about it. I'm going to show you this with the chart, and we're going to talk about some of the fallacies. And now, because look, if this really starts to ramp, it might buy us a little bit of time. I think we'll enter more volatility later. But at the end of the day, this was all very unnecessary. And if you were really using the stock market gauge, I mean, it's very ineffective with all of this. And there was a lot of fear, a lot of things going on, but you just legitimately moved 1 year and 1 month. And remember, hard data stayed the same. There was no major deteriorations. And we're going to talk about some of the other developments that are sadly having another blind eye turn to them. But point is, April was green long term, and get ready for this. Get ready for more of this. Usually, anytime you have one of these big moves, it doesn't just stop here. So that's why I'm telling you, you may like it. This may feel good for a little bit, whether it's 1 week or 4 months from now. You're going to have another set of volatility, but it probably won't be as major as what you just lived through. Now, that's the hope. But if China fucks things up, Donald Trump goes even more rogue on trade policy, and anything else happens, then that is all up for grabs still. But like I'm telling you, how things played out and just pure market movement, man, I think it's terrible that, This move was very large. It was very fast, but a lot of money changed hands, bro. And like I was telling you, you feel this now and you see this move. I was telling you, beginning of this week, even last week, that was the breaking point. And that's what I was saying, just like right at the last moment, as we started to let go of our cash for the long term, that's when mother effers tapped out. And they said, nah, I'm going to rotate. I'm out. And then now here we are. So this is huge, you guys. And what we went through, I think it's a sign of the times. And what I mean by that is going back to how we got into the beginning of this year. Like we talked about, once you have back-to-back 20% years, that has only happened 5 other times in the history of the world. Every time, the next year is massive. So this has already given you that. And now we still have to work through all of these main themes to see what's going on. So we'll see where that all leads. But the other part of today, data. And now this is going to lead into tomorrow. We'll talk about it a little bit. But the GDP reaction, I think it was on par. You had a bad GDP. I told you people would be hyping it up. And let's actually go back to the chart. And you'll see it because we were down about 0.45. Donald Trump made his speech in Michigan. He made more comments at Powell. You know, things started off about down 0.5%. The data came in, even though the PCE was kind of favorable later. The GDP and even some of the pricing metrics, it was not good, and people sold off 2.5% by 10 o'clock on the dot. And then right when the PCE came in lower, that ended it. By Euro close, you kept running, and then you started hearing we heard Trump all day, pretty much live during their cabinet meeting, and that's what I was telling you guys. I'm getting kind of tired of it. I'm getting tired of Wall Street Journal rumors, them front running it, them causing chaos in the market, fucking up premium. And this is Reuters, Wall Street Journal, all these people. I don't know. Maybe I'm not naming somebody, but I'm very, very tired of this crap, and you guys need to call it out. Everybody does, like straight up, because at the end of the day, it's like when Trump, they're changing the schedule around and they are going early in the morning. That way you can't say Caroline is leaking somebody and they're front running. That's why they're doing it in the morning and blocking out the other news. During the day, they're doing a press briefing with podcasters that are just throwing them softballs that are not anything new so that you can't blame them for it. And like I said, and notice when they are live, not one trade rumor, it feels slow. Right afterwards, 30 minutes after, China rumor on pulling back, then it fades, and then this was just the end of the month window dressing. So very wild, but you're going to hear about this a lot. And like I'm saying, though, I would pay attention to what is being said by the president. You know why? Because, yeah, the rumors are good, and sometimes they could lead to movements. Sometimes you could get robbed. But we've made money every single time. Because that, even today, I called out a crazy play. It was one of the only ones. We'll talk about it. And I put on the stream alerts, and that shit's in the money. I said buy it at 30 cents and below. It went to 10, and it was at the target and closed $3 in the money. And out of any of the plays, some plays, max was like 100%. That was the sweet spot one. So how did I get that? It was I did make it off of listening to Trump and what he was saying about Canada. And I was leading into that. It's none of this other rumor bullshit. And like I'm saying, people are, just because it's really easy to blame Trump, I am watching a lot of dirty behavior and these rumors and all of that. And people are doing shady shit. And then they're just saying, oh, he did it. Oh, look, they're front running. But that's not the reality. And I encourage you to not fall for this shit. That's why I'm saying the more you're aware of this, the less it's going to rob people. And like I said, I even streamed alerted. That little rumor was fake. This was just all window dressing. The day was already doing its thing, and there was more things that were going to hold you up or give you drivers out of policies, events, and all the other stuff we've talked about recently. And like I told you, you might literally get a late reaction on some of the developments that we have gotten this week already. So keep that in mind. But now, coming into it, non-farms on Friday, okay? So this is where I think it's very interesting because I thought people were going to fade non-farms, give all the reaction to GDP. Now we're ripping. And let's see how people feel with a lot of other stuff happening. But at the end of the day, the non-farms might be the event that people talked about but didn't talk about, if that makes any sense. You know? And how many times have we been in these scenarios where you think something is going to happen and you think the data and then it doesn't, and then the data that you ignore, it comes back and haunts you. So just don't forget, non-farms is important. There was a big drop in ADP private payrolls today. See if that factors in, and keep this thought in mind. I'm going to bring this back to something else. But other than that, there was another thing that happened today after the bell. I love this. You know that? I love this. You know that? God bless America. And you know what? God bless Donald Trump. And yeah, am I a weird Trump supporter? Maybe I am. I don't know. But above all else, the Ukraine deal. I am so happy that we signed it, and I honestly can say that it was a good deal for everybody. I genuinely believe it is great for the Ukrainian people, and I look forward to them getting good things for them and less violence and less war. You have no idea, bro. And how the deal was structured is amazing. It's 50-50. And honestly, realistically, most people are expecting we're going to reinvest all of it into Ukraine. And I'm okay with that. And it allowed a way now for Ukraine to pay for military defense. And now we are going to defend Ukraine. And now we have a good it's like we both can benefit and we both can lose. You know what I'm saying? So this could lead to we're not, and that's the thing. Sadly, we're not at Russia's stage yet, and you need Putin and all of it. But for now, it's there. Well, if you call bullshit, go look into it, because pretty much what they ended up signing and what it is, it's a joint fund. The bullshit part about it is that it's not really all about critical minerals. That's the bullshit. If you really want the bullshit in the deal, it's called a critical mineral deal, but it's actually about oil, iron, copper, and a lot of other things, and that has more of an interest than not. So that's the bullshit part about it, but other than that, man, it is literally, this is the step you need to peace. Each country gets a fund. It's 50-50, and they both contribute to finance, and now the United States military support can be counted as a contribution to that fund, and then 3 board members on each side from Ukraine and the U.S., and then they split all the profits 50-50, and now there's oil and gas, and the U.S. gets preferential access to any rare earth extraction in Ukraine, and the United States gets the first right of refusal for any projects. So I like it. I'm saying it's good for Ukraine as well, too. And I think this is something that can bring peace, bro. You know, all these warmongers, like I'm saying, it's not like I was ever against Ukraine. I have a video. I was saying it years ago. We should build up Ukraine. Ukraine is a powerhouse. So I look forward to their future. And I really hope things get better there. And I look forward to peace. And that was a big deal. And that happened here today. So we'll see where that leads, but China deal rumors, you're probably going to get a walk back or more info on that. You still have a Japan deal lingering. We know nothing about the India deal, nothing about the South Korea deal. And yeah, there's still just so many things. There was a headline, and the headline, I should have put Canada, but pretty much Trump said today during the cabinet, he said, Carney called me. He said, let's make a deal. I like it. I like Canadians. We'll do a deal. And that's what he said. So very, very important. So these are all the things that are kind of what we're waiting on. I don't know how tomorrow's going to play. First day of the month with all of these, we'll see. But it's probably going to be an interesting summer. And then people are already doing the sell in May and go away. But other than that, here now is something good for you. Are you ready? So now, with the end of this month, and we have to talk about this, bro. Because like I'm saying, this, if you just walk away like this is nothing and normal, my brother, you're setting yourself up for a lot of failure. My brother, this doesn't happen for no reason. Donald Trump is one of the reasons to blame. But it does take two to tango. And quite frankly, I think there were some major fallacies that we've already talked about that have led to just such an extreme move. Again, we did 1 year in 30 days. Well, that's the thing. Don't get caught up in the timing. And I think you're going to deal with this again. Oh, I'm telling you, bro. I think you are going to deal with another baby volatility. This doesn't just go away. Unless there's a China deal right around the corner, this doesn't just disappear. And you'll get a little bout of volatility, and just given the way Trump is right now and the way people are reacting, you never know. However, getting through what we just did, there is some good news out of all of it. So, that being said, let's talk about some of the glaring errors of the fearmongers. And I think you're going to see this soon. And I have some charts and I'll show you, but number one, lower oil is extremely bullish. And my brother in Christ, make no mistake, Wall Street is already effing acknowledging this. What a damn shame. Why? Because in the midst of all of this, the market's back up and oil is clobbered, and we noticed it today. And I could tell you could look into this, because you will notice the lower oil goes now at this floor. Dude, it starts one industry at a time will begin to get a little extra margin. So, and then again, with rates and other things, but I know we're focused on the fear and everything, but lower oil cannot be ignored. And you mean to tell me in the midst of all of this, hard data is up, unless there is a fall off in growth in jobs, if the oil stays low without the job market dropping, my friend, I don't know what, do you know what I'm saying? Because you can't defend it at this point. If there's no economic decline, if there is no economy softening through the data, through real economy, Main Street, anything, if oil is this low and goes lower, it does not lead. This is a good thing. It's wild. Even the Saudis and them bringing, this is all good, as wild as that sounds. So that's the first one. The second one, CapEx is increasing, you guys. I hate this one because you've heard a lot of people in the media, and you've heard a lot of people say, we don't know what to do. Trump, we got to do this. We don't know. Uncertainty. We got to pull our guidance. I'm Evan Spiegel. Right? Does that sound familiar? So listen, man. They might be telling you to be scared, and you might be scared to invest. But make no mistake, these companies are not. How do I know? Because people were worried about Big Seven. They're like, what happens if AI? And what happens if the CapEx? What happens if the tariff? And then they're not going to spend. Bro, these big Mag 7 companies are announcing they're spending more money. People fear-mongered Microsoft the whole time. Their CapEx dropped $1 billion after 4 different rumors on cutting leases and this and that and this. Meta, CapEx, higher. So you might be scared, but between Microsoft and Meta alone, they plan on spending $70 billion this year. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's 2 companies in this world. Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, go to the healthcare companies, all the companies moving back. And point is, money is being spent. And money is still there. And although there is been, and that's what I'm saying, and do you see how this could be true? I think this is how you could go from ultimate fear to unchanged, because at the end of the day, the people are still investing. You may have had fear and you may have had uncertainty, but 1 quarter later, we'll find out more after tomorrow. But guess what? What if Apple CapEx goes up? What if all of them? So we'll find out. But point is, like, people are still investing. And yeah, smaller companies might struggle if there's not a deal soon. And we'll find out. But this is what I'm saying. These billionaires, these rich people, the news, the media, The same people telling you, tariff gonna do that. Why are they investing so much? I'll wait. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, you're right. It will hurt small businesses. And if there isn't a deal soon, those ships stay salt, we will have a problem. You know what I'm saying? I agree with the ports thing, and that's why I don't think it's that bad, but I do think that we are in a weird situation of nothing moving. And that could, the longer those ports stay like that, it's going to open one Pandora's box after the next. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, I look at a candle like this and I get pissed off. You know, if this was 2 decades ago, I would be pissed off because I probably would have sold. But not now. You know what I'm pissed off at is that so many people were underpositioned on Wall Street and were trying to bully Trump with their money, and they got out of it, and the market ripped and was doing good, and then they fear-mongered the shit out of it, brought it down, got people to leave. They loaded up, and then they're all raising their CapEx. So I'm just saying, the people responsible and parts of this news and the business leaders and the Bloombergs and all of, I am shocked at how much fear. And again, these are smart people. I would not be as straightforward with them if they were dumb. Do you understand? These people have access to data. These people have access to CEOs. These people have access to everything. Why? But again, this is a glaring error. How can we look at this and be terrified when your biggest industries in the world responsible for such a large portion of the investment and spending in the United States and abroad? How are we scared? What are you saying? So, unless this changes, this is a glaring error. Like I'm saying, unless, if the economy collapses, jobs go down, then yeah, that low oil isn't bullish, right? If everything crashes and they cut their CapEx and they really are scared to spend, and if they slash their spending, the market would naturally drop because there wouldn't be any money in business. Oh, I don't know if y'all are feeling me. So I hope you're seeing what I'm saying. And now here's the other part. I hate this one. I brought this one up to you the other day. I hate this. I hate it. You know why? Because if Trump gets his big, beautiful bill, as I showed you guys, sadly, he will still be spending like a drunken sailor. I am shocked. It's ugly spending. The only difference, it's not going to go to fucking wind farms and, but it's going to go to the Trump bias, not the Democrat bias. You get what I'm saying? So the money's not going to go into the pockets of the USAID. It's going to go into the pockets of MyPillow, if that is an easier way to understand that. But the point I'm trying to tell you, even without those assumptions of who's going to benefit, point is the government, if this bill passes by Trump, this is a substantial amount of spending. This deficit is in the almost multi-trillions, over 1 trillion, 1.7 at minimum, and that's higher than any other period. And like I told you, because if I criticize Biden with it, I will criticize Trump with it. So you understand the concept. The concept is that it is government demand. That's why you could be worried about the consumer, all of this, but if the government is still buying everything and hiring people and spending, again, that does not sound like a world or an economy that is about to collapse. You know what I'm saying? So this is another big part. And now, here's the final one. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys about, you may feel good right now. Don't get confident. And even if it keeps ripping, you're gonna get a volatility spike when you least expect it. It reminds me all of the banking crisis and COVID. So the deal is right now, after all of this manufactured fear, after moving 1 year in 1 month, you legitimately might have peaked global uncertainty. It will pop back up again at one point, and this is what I'm trying to tell you. After we went through COVID, remember Omicron, Delta, you had little freakouts. They weren't as bad as the freakout. They were shallower in depth, and they lasted less. Does that sound familiar? Same thing with the banking crisis. You had SVB, you had the failure, market pulled down, and then it bounced up a little bit, and then a month or two later, 3 months later, another person gets clapped, everybody gets reactive again, and then what do? It's shallower, it doesn't last as long, back to business. Do you understand? So that's why I'm trying to tell you, you're not out of the clear yet. You're going to deal with volatility, maybe even pertaining to everything we're dealing with now. However, this was definitely a big line in the sand of what we just went through. That's why I'm saying I would be hard-pressed to ignore it and proceed like this was normal. Because you might have just had the most extreme global uncertainty in history, and I don't think you'll ever hit that again. You might. That's what I'm saying. I think it'll pop up, but I don't know if it's gonna. I don't know. And you know why? Because I think it's manufactured. I said it on the keys. This chart looks like a Solana meme token. And why do Solana tokens look like that when they do that? It's because it's manufactured pumping, right? I rest my case. Because this is wicked, and this is what I want you to realize. Before you know it, just a couple days ago, it wasn't like, and now look. Bro, global uncertainty has fell 60% or 50% from the high. Already. To give you an idea, but like I showed you in the beginning, dude, look at it. Bro, in 2020, COVID. Look at what COVID uncertainty was. When they shut down the economy, again, I showed you guys this chart. And I was like, why? I was like, are you guys serious? You're going to freak out about something that hasn't happened yet? And when inflation was at 9, all of these people with the money and the media, all of it, there was no uncertainty. How? So that's why I'm saying, I can't change what happened. None of us can. I'm just telling you, was manufactured. It's clear. Look how fucking massive this is. So with that being said, unless there's another stimulus that is going to allow the media to manufacture this again, it might be virtually impossible to ever do what we just did. You see what I'm saying? And especially if things get better, and if now, because again, if you bounce and we're back up to highs very soon, people are going to get pissed, and people will doubt it. And this is insanity. But I have showed you this chart in advance. We showed this with the VIX. When we were hitting the VIX early, this is the chart that helped us. Remember, when it was here, we were playing the VIX. But unfortunately, though, this was one of those things. And this is where I'm telling you, though, this might be something the fear mongers are missing. Because like I'm telling you, how was whatever just happened, that scenario of Trump and all of it, and the tariffs and Trump going crazy on tariffs, that was what you needed to cause this move. But like, how are we ever going to do this again? Because like I'm saying, 4 years after COVID, it took 5 years and BS and everybody just, you see what I'm saying? So I think it's very, very wild, man. Very, very wild. But this is the point I'm telling you. This is bullish. Why is this bullish? Because that may actually be the peak in global uncertainty. And like I'm saying, will we be uncertain? Yes. Just like 2020, just like the other trade war, you'll drop, you'll come back up, it won't go as high, or maybe it goes a little higher, and then that's it, dude. You get what I'm saying? So I think you have one more uncertainty pop, assuming that this one wasn't it. You see, because you already did this. Crazy pop, come down, crazy pop, come down, mega rip. You get what I'm saying? So I think you got one more left in you, but at the end of the day, I don't think you could top this unless Donald Trump crashes out like Kanye. I genuinely don't think you could ever manufacture this level of fear ever again. You need a real collapse or a real blow up or black swan. You get what I'm saying? This was a manufactured black swan. Look, all of it, everything. And like I'm telling you, all these fallacies and all of this to occur just to be at the same price. Again, motherfuckers with experience, we ain't do shit. We waited 3 months and bought at the very last second. And so you see what I'm saying? I'm more pissed at what this did to everybody else. The confusion, society, all of it. It's crap, dude. But these are a lot of fallacies, and you got to take advantage of it, though. And I hope you do. So we'll see where this all leads us. But that being said now, I actually do have more pretty pictures for you. So I've gone over all the keys. I've gone over that final point. I'll show you this one. This one, I showed this on stream if you missed it. But real estate, and this is another thing, bro. A lot of things have changed, you guys. Things are coming back to normal. That's why I'm saying F all these people telling you to buy a car. Car market is normalizing. Housing market is trying to normalize. Damn, the stock market wants to normalize, for crying out loud. Bonds really want to normalize. But real estate. And what this chart is showing you, bro, and this is crazy because of the high rates and people selling and moving and doing all of this. Right now, the interest rate on all the outstanding mortgage debt in America. Oh, you can't see it? Sorry. All the outstanding debt is at 4% interest. And it's sad. You know why? Because the homeownership rate fell. So that means these people that bought these cheap-ass houses at low rates, not everybody held on to it. And now the homeownership rate in America is declining. And now after all of everything that's gone on, look, for 3-4 years, you could have, the average mortgages were so low. But now you're back to 2023. You're higher than 2013, excuse me, not 2023. So yeah, that means, and now people are paying more for a mortgage. It's kind of crazy. So we talked about that one with real estate, but now here's another market chart I want you to see. And this is it. This chart reminds me of the banking crisis. It reminds me of what I was showing you guys with, like, again, how the hard data, soft data, whether it's leading or lagging, like we saw in the banking crisis. But yeah, guess what? This chart also shows why there really wasn't that good of deals. And it really wasn't until the last minute there was some decent deals. The blue line is the EPS growth expectations of the S&P 500. The red line is the Bloomberg Economic Data Surprise Index. So soft and hard data, but especially soft data, as that collapsed. And after you went through all of this, the earnings estimates did not go down. That's what I was saying. The value and the earnings per shares and what was expected in the growth, that really didn't change. It did fall a little, but to some degree, you're just back to where it was at the beginning of the year. Did not go lower than that. That's why there wasn't that crazy of deals when you really think, it was the fake Black Friday deals. 100%. And like I showed you, this one here, just out of any of these peak to trough, again, you went through this before in 2022. You did this in 2020. And then 2018, I told you this was the other moment we were right there. So this might be like that, but either way, man, half of the time, we still don't know what the future holds. And then here's now the final one. This will lead into some of the plays now perfectly. Are you ready? And this is something I told you on one of the fallacies, and you got to pay attention to it. Oil. I love it. I got to show you the skew. We got to look at the VVIX. We've even got to look at MOVE Index. And now you get to look at the Oil VIX, OVX. Ta-da! So yeah, guess what? Oil volatility is through the roof. I don't know if anybody talks about it as much, but I'm pretty sure all of the contracts are in backwardation right now. Oil is insanely volatile right beneath our noses. It's crazy. And this has big implications. Like I'm saying, bro, I would be hard, it's even breaking out, and now it's there. I would be hard pressed to ignore this. So that's why I said, if you want to get worried about this, the jobs data needs to collapse off a cliff. We might get that on Friday. But if it doesn't, this is good. But other than that, though, the VIX in volatility is through the roof on oil. And now, let us get into the plays. So, right off the bat, airlines and UPS. So I saw a little signal of this today. There was a Saudi rumor, and oil gets pummeled, right? And right as oil crosses below $59 a barrel, airlines start ripping. And I'm like, what? No news, no nothing. They rip. And yeah, and they held up. And then you go and look, and you're like, wait a minute, oil hasn't been this low. And yeah, where are my math nerds at? You could figure this out. I'm being dead serious. Go pull up a filing for American Airlines, UAL. You could pull this up. Go get where are my math nerds at. You could calculate this if you really wanted to. I just saw it today. I think I'm in the neighborhood. You could figure this out directly if you really wanted to. But I think every dollar below $59 a barrel, I think that starts to net certain companies millions and millions of dollars. I think the margins on UAL start to skyrocket. I think UPS is going to benefit off of a lot cheaper things. Again, China and any of these people. Bro, there is so much. We haven't seen oil like this in a minute, bro. Yeah, the cruise lines, everybody. Bro, even companies spending a lot on utilities, for crying out loud. So there's obviously other things that go into that, but the whole point is I think the lower oil, and that's why I think the oil volatility is rising now, because I think every dollar below 59, it's going to start, I think you're going to start to see a net effect, like really reflected in certain companies. Or if you want something to go look for, you could go find who hedges oil, who buys on it, who has higher operating costs with energy. And like I'm telling you, you could figure out exactly how much money they are going to make for every dollar it goes lower. So that's why I'm telling you, man, it's kind of wild, but this is it. Look. And it's funny that we're being so, look at this. Man, are you kidding me? Like, I can't tell if Joe Biden was he. I really think he was trying to help oil out. You know what I'm saying? Because oil is dirt cheap right now, bro. It's down 50% from March. Huh? Almost. But yeah, you're breaking a new low now. And that's what I'm saying. The lower it goes, any dollar below here, this starts to change a lot of companies that are relying on it. So don't let that one slip by you, and we'll monitor this day by day as we move forward. But that is play number one. Keep your eyes out for that. Play number two, Microsoft. So they held up after the earnings call. You might have a Mag 7 hitter on your hands. So Microsoft barely moves. It doesn't price in that much sometimes, but it just never moves. After the call, it's still holding up 7. They were at the bottom. So here's the deal. If this actually holds, I think those options might be green tomorrow. Other than that, if it fades by the first 30 minutes, you're going to get trapped, and then that's it. Ta-da! So that was play number 2. Watch out for Microsoft. That'll be important. And now, play number 3. Nothing. Oh, man. Dude, I loved it today. Bro, you have no idea. I loved it. I love today. Bro, I'd go see it. I'm gonna flex. I'm gonna flex the fuck out of stream alerts. You know why? You can't even buy them. Stop playing with me. But oh my goodness. I want to show you all of the stream alerts for the day. because it was, dude, I'm so glad. I didn't swing at shit today. Oh, but was it effective? So I gave this call. I said it on stream too, to be fair. Because a motherfucker want to get mad at me, but before I went members only, I told you guys, I said, hey, here's Canada news. I explained exactly what happened on stream for everybody. And I said I'm looking for a certain call, and I'm waiting for the second round of pumping by the news. So I said, watch this one at 30 or below. And that was at 10:36 a.m. my time. So, yeah, we could go. I think I already showed the contract. Do dailies still show up? Yeah, nice. But, yeah, that contract ended $3 in the money. Like I'm saying, below 30. Oh, my God. Was it 10, 11, 12, 136? Yeah, so this was your alert. So think about it. I'm sending it out here. That's why I gave you guys see why I tell you. Oh, you can't see it? And if you are already on stream alerts, I want you to understand. That's why I say you got to be careful with the prices, and I don't want to put them out all the time because you got to think about it. By the time I'm typing that out and sending it, depending on when you receive it, you see what I'm saying? That's hitting you at 10:36. That's why I didn't want you to go crazy. But I was saying just watch it below 30, and I had a feeling it was kind of going to be cucky. And sure enough, that's why below 30, any below 30 was money. And then by the end of the day, you're $3 in the money, man. So very, very good. So think about that, though. So you can't sign up for stream alerts. That time is done. Get a long term. But the point is, bro, that play was good, but what I like more about it, I only talked about like 3 plays today. I did a meta play. I called out that play. I sent out a couple of news ones, and I said, watch it, but no play. Boeing, I said it was up 100, no play. Boeing ripped. And then there was one more on news. I said it was there. And there were so many opportunities that looked like it today. I just was like, dude, it's not like we talked about yesterday, the out of the money, the in the money dynamic. It wasn't playing. It was so trappy. And oh my goodness, bro. I didn't do anything. But it saved so much. It saved so that is the key, my friends. Because if you could dodge the bullets and then find the 1,000%er, oh, that's all you need, my friends. So it's very good, bro. And that's where you got to just do nothing sometimes. And now here's the deal. I have an idea. Tomorrow. I think tomorrow is ripe for a move, but deep down, I think all of it is front-loaded for Friday. But now here's the deal. Tell me if you remember this. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure the last 2 weeks, we kind of felt like this. And then Thursday's the big move. And then nothing happens on Friday. Different than the nothing on Thursday, big move on Friday, and then everybody's scared over the weekend about what Trump is going to do. So do you see the dilemma for tomorrow? I hope you see it. That's my dilemma because I don't know if it's going to be the big one or the small one. But like I told you, it seems, just like we said, just maybe on these slow weeks and the out of the monies, maybe we just wait till Thursday or Friday. So I don't know, but be on the lookout. And long story short, whether we hit it or miss it, if tomorrow is big, I think Friday is going to be a cuck fest 25. And then vice versa, if tomorrow is small, then I think Friday that's going to be the action. And then I think non-farms could be the zinger. I think everybody faded the non-farms already and are not even thinking about it because hard data, soft data, but I think that might come back if it's bad. And like I'm telling you, if that jobs data comes in bad, then some of these bullish fallacies might actually be a little more sticky. So that's what you got to watch out for. But other than that, be wise, dude. And if you don't have to spend, you don't have to make a play. And avoiding, man, oh, that's all you got to do. So I liked it, man. And I'm excited for what we could see. And just if you notice in the money, out the money, if you notice certain things, you know what I'm saying? Listen to them. And that's why. And that's why I was like, I started going smaller, noticing how like weird it was. And then even that's why I told you that yesterday. And then today I'm like, nope, I wasn't liking him. They even pump fake the staples in the morning. Staples were green when we gapped down, and then 20 minutes later, they flushed all of them. So, dude, there were so many opportunities to get burned today. And then, like I'm saying, you could even bought certain plays, only made 50, 100%. But if you could avoid the other ones and get near that sweet spot with the real information, that's going to be a real great way to maximize, boys. So I hope you're ready for it. But that is play number 3. And then finally, I got one more for you. I could throw in 2 more, but Apple and Unity. Okay? The judge ruled against Apple in the in-app purchase thing. That was after the bell. So this time it's not EU. It's a judge. I think it's an American judge, pretty sure. It might be EU, but I'm pretty sure it's an American judge. They ruled against them. It's kind of old. You've seen the Unity back and forth, you know? So maybe that was it. But other than that, that could be a play in that Tesla. So Tesla is down right now. I think it already came back up. Let me see. Yeah, almost back. It's a Wall Street Journal fear-mongering article. I skimmed through it. It just sounded like an opinion. And it was titled under Wall Street Journal, I think, Executive Analysis. But they were just telling a story. But it did drop. So sorry for the guy I timed out, though. I hope you understand. I thought you were fucking around. And none of the charts were showing it. But, you know, that's sometimes the punishment for being too early. I could relate. But other than that, and it's bouncing, no, I think it's just Wall Street Journal. Because, again, the good news was that Elon, they reported today that Elon is no longer working out of the White House. So he doesn't go to the White House anymore. So, like, people, you know how he's like, guys have I sleep at the White House. We actually install beds in the Oval Office, the Lincoln Room, and every room, actually, even on the front lawn. And that way we can save money if you sleep there. But I no longer go to the office. We could do a phone call, save more money. So, yeah, that's what he does. He doesn't, and that's good news for Tesla. You know, your boy's, you know, he's pulling back a little bit. And, yeah, but other than that, we will see. But other than that, you guys want to talk about it? You want to talk about the long term? But if you have any questions now, that is all I have for you. But we should talk about the long term. I can't believe it, bro. I love it. You know that? Because I'm just like, listen, I really wanted to hold cash. But seeing how this played out, I'm glad I got a little bit, man. You know, I guess you always end up glad until it comes down. But at the end of the day, bro, I like what it took. You know what I'm saying? It took a 20% decline in a month to pry that cash out of my hands. I'll do it again. You see what I'm saying? I'm fine. I'm happy with that. Because that means if they do it again, we'll be down 40% and I'll buy everything. But at that point. So, you know, it was just, because I did, bro. I don't know. It was a really, really, really weird one. No one believes this rally, but like, that's what rallies are made of, dog. I don't know, man. I don't know if you feel me on that, but like, that is exactly what rallies are built off of. So I didn't believe it. I told you, though, he is risen. I love that that we were able to talk about this, and we titled it "He is Risen Rally." Does that sound familiar? Because I told you that on Easter, I think the week before. So it was great, but at the end of he is indeed risen, my friends. You know what I'm saying? He has indeed risen. And yeah, retail did buy it. I'm glad. That's what I'm saying, though. But it's like, you know, no people don't believe it in there, but there were some good deals. And I really, I wanted to wait, man. I wanted to build the cash. I wanted my diamond, but we may have got some of it. Maybe we got something else. But at the end of the day, like I said, if we had a plan, we had a goal, the world threw something wicked at us. And, I'm happy with how he played out. Bro, we waited till the last fucking minute. Do you not realize that? So literally, look. Let's see. Year to date. Wait, hold on. Let me see. I don't think it shows any. Government. SPACs. Hold on. I just got to make sure it's not showing my bank account. Yeah. Because, dude, I want to just see the stocks. Bro. Look. I know. You got it on the long-term alert, too, bro. Are you saying now is a good time to spend the cash we have saved? No, man. How are you like that? My question is like, how do y'all how do you keep missing it? You know what I'm saying? So no, I'm not saying that at all. Because sadly, every purchase I just bought is up 10% or 15%. No exaggeration. And I didn't want to buy things. And that's what I was saying this whole time right here is that we had a goal, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I really had a goal. And I wanted to build cash. We were overweight on equities. And like I'm saying, the world threw a situation. And then I finally, I caved, bro. I told you guys I felt ashamed, but I had to do it. And that's why I'm saying, how did you miss that, though? And how are you coming in now when it's higher and saying and misinterpreting what I say? I don't want you to confuse people. And I don't know if you're confused or if you're trying to do it to others. And I would love to help if you're genuine, believe me. So I'm not trying to bring you down if that's what it is. But because I'm saying, if you've been following along, it was just last weekend, dude. It literally, look at this. April 22nd. April 17th. You guys get that? I bought my one at the beginning of the year, told you I'm going to hold cash, and I did nothing. I did nothing until April 17th. Which day? Is that day? Till 17th and then the 22nd. And then on the 22nd, the one I bought was down 10% that day. Do you see what I'm saying? We waited the whole time. That's where but that's why I'm saying on last week, on the 22nd, I was telling you guys, hey, I'm sorry for telling you I wanted cash, yabba baba dooba. But I told you, I was like, dude, I had to buy something. I said it was just too much, bro. I had to use a little bit of it. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's why I'm like, because if you did that, you are up. But I don't get too excited. It may not last. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, into Novo and UPS, I didn't spend it all. So then there you go. Then let your portfolio. But I'm not saying now is still the time. No. So if that is genuine, no. Now is what you were was that if you did buy with that and if you did snag at the low, that's what I'm saying. Any of the names I picked up were at the low. I didn't buy none of this. We bought it. We bought after Nike. I would have bought Nike, but that shit went up. I wanted Nike at 53, and then right when I was ready to buy it, guess what? It was at 56. It's up 10%. It's up 15%. I'm not paying that. Fuck that. That's a lot. You see what I'm saying? It was literally like pizza, bro. We were at the bottom. Still, it wasn't up 10%. Now it's up 11 or 12. Again, NVO, literally the exact 57, I think, or 58, the bottom. So that's why I liked it, because that's why I'm saying now is not the time, unfortunately, unless there's a name that's really good and lagging. There's still a couple, but if you don't have a lot of cash, you don't need to buy. This isn't the time. So I'm going back to my same scenario. You see what I'm saying? That's it. I just felt bad because I was like, dude, I can't sit here with all my metrics telling me to buy. I had to throw something out, bro. And I felt bad because I really want my cash, and I bought so much stock. I didn't want to be vulnerable. I wanted good defense. I didn't want to lose the lead. You know what I'm saying? There was all of these things, and it was a good decision to hold the cash. But it got to the point where, like, it flip-flopped, and I was like, I got to throw something out there, bro. So, yeah. And that's how we're here. But now I'm going back to the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where now I'm just going right back to, because I still have what? So pretty much I didn't deploy all my cash. So if you're saying you didn't deploy it either, yeah, that's what I did too. That's it. We had like 8,000 in cash. I spent, or 9,000. I spent half of it. I think I spent 5,000 on 2 different plays. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, man, it sucks because I was like, it's going to slow me down. But I told you I have a deposit coming. So I have a deposit coming in today, tomorrow, and then we're going to be back up to 3% cash. So I didn't use it all, but I did have to use some of it, even though it was a little bit outside of my plan, but I think it presented me an opportunity. We have 44 days. Well, maybe. Just don't. That 44 days is the average bear market, but I don't box anything in. You're going to get clapped, you see? Because that's what you said to me earlier, you know, and you're like, so is now the time? Don't box yourself in. Don't tie yourself to 44 days. Take information. Don't become a prisoner to it. Do you understand? For all of you, but especially you asking that, because that's where it's like, we don't know. I'm going, bro. I'm flowing with this. You see what I'm saying? Do you think I knew what the fuck I was doing? I have an idea, but did you really, like, come on. You think I realized I was buying at the very last minute at the perfect bottom? I had no idea. I was preparing for more downside, more everything. You get what I'm saying? I'm not tied to anything. And that's why even my own plan, I had my long-term plan I'm tied to. I'm not selling that bitch. 10 years minimum. Don't even play with me. You already know that. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, I was like, okay, let's hold our cash. Let's do this. Let's do that. But I'm like, man, it got too good. Like I'm saying, bro, in 1 month, NVO is down 30%. How am I going to say no? It went down 3 years. Again, all the other plays. So I was like, I'm going to have to use a little. But I didn't know. So even then, on the way up, the way down, the average bear market rally, is there. But don't be tied to it. Again, you threw some out. It worked. Why? Don't get FOMO. Don't try to buy things that aren't going to be a good deal if they're not. Keep doing what got you here. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you got to be on the lookout for. But, amen. But it's kind of crazy, bro. So God is good, man. I give him the credit. Looking back, it looks like, we did it really well. And maybe we'll regret this if the market ends up having a hard landing. But at the end of the day, I mean, finger to the sky, bro. But I'm glad in the long term will prevail. And like I'm saying, even in a little bit of unknown, we got to know. That was just the philo the other day, bro. I was just telling you. I didn't know, bro. I didn't know the answer, but I had to move. And that kind of was my conclusion. Because I didn't know what was going to happen. Nobody did. I wasn't playing that game, but, objectively, there was value at good prices, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to throw all of it. I'll slow myself down by a month. I'm not going to go overboard, but I got to get my hand on this one a little bit. So, yeah, and that's where I'm very, very excited. But we have more in store, and like I said, just don't get too confident. Only certainty will kill you, baby. Yeah, and I had covered calls on Redfin. They're covered calls. That's why it's an option. So we bought Redfin at $3. Some of you did the same with me. And then I sold over the years. Over the years, I sold covered calls that paid for more than what I spent on the stock. So legitimately, we got Redfin for free. So we legit bought it at $3. It went up like 400% on equity at one point, and then we just kept selling covered calls as it was ripping. And by doing that on all of the runs, I collected more than what I put in when we bought it at $3. So, and then it got bought out. These shares will turn into whatever, but yeah, they paid us to buy it. Believe it or not, we made more money than we paid, and we still hold all of the shares. So yeah, that's why I have an option there on Redfin. It is a covered call. A broker, anybody that allows it. I mean, I think Fidelity, E-Trade's good with trusts. But yeah, that just kind of depends on who has the capability. Most big box brokers do. Snap, we bought between like $7 and $16. That's why this account, the original Snapchat account, is not that bad. And then Snapchat, we got like 3/4 of our or half of our investment back. So now it's down 34% after the earnings, but is that $12? Thought it was at $7. Nah. Yeah, I guess 12 then. I guess 7's the mark. We had some. I think 7 was one of the averages. But yeah. But then again, we didn't buy that account and to highlight it. The last time I purchased Snapchat was March 10th, 2020. So yes, I did like this stock. I still do. I think Evan Spiegel just robbed us through stock-based compensation. Sadly, Mr. Mosby has been saying that for fucking 5 years. He was correct. But don't be fooled. I mean, I haven't bought it. Last time I bought Snap was March 10th, 2020. Where is it? Yeah. So, yeah, we got to ride all of it. But it would have been nice if we turned it into something. But that's not our long-term plan. Believe me. And then if we did that with Snapchat, we probably would have missed out on the other ones. If we did it like that. All love. No, it was good. I think that was good. I didn't think they would. I thought they were greedier than that. I thought they would have much preferred a higher stock with stability that they could have used as a piggy bank rather than pillaging it, but they just pillaged it. Evan Spiegel. It just literally, like, the money was there. So some of you who don't like Snap, it's kind of weird. Or it's like, it does better than you think. It's the management. They took all the profit and burned it. Or they paid themselves. That's it. That's all. So they had this weird little spend money to make money. And then every quarter, $1 billion here, $1 billion there, $2 billion here. It was just going to pay the employees through stock-based comp. They were just buying back their own stock at these crazy prices. It's crazy. Yeah. I did. Microsoft was on the plays. I think that might be your Mag 7 hitter if it holds, because after the earnings, it did good. 100K in a trust. I would buy a house. Always buy a house. I would start investing in the long term. Be wise. Go slow. Go safe. And then shop for a house because you have that much money. And if a house comes your way, you either flip it for good profit really quick, or you turn it to a long-term hold and let that grow and make your money off the buy, and that's it. You could buy a house in Cali. It might be a condo, but there's some other one. You can find, you want to live in Bakersfield, big dog? What are you asking? California, Bakersfield, California. Woo! The house, yeah, I did. I was going to respond. I'm glad you're here, actually. It's decent. I don't think, though, I don't have an offer for him. That's what I'm saying. Lately, I don't even put offers So I think what he's asking is a little too high. He bought it in 2021 for $950. It really wasn't worth there, but if he wants 1.1 million, just tell him to fucking, isn't it already listed? Or tell him to list it, but I'm not. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people going through that right now. Second property, don't leverage the first one until you find a great deal. That's it. Thank you again. Pump the CISO. Agree, baby. Let's go. Looking for a house with that lady. That's amazing, bro. For real, that's a good move. And I think you guys will both enjoy it. And it's that's how you do it, man. It's a great investment. That property in Florida, yeah, do it. Do it. But even then, like I said, no rush. No rush. You should work with a cult agent. Otherwise, you're going to... I've already seen it, bro. This is the story of everything I do, man, is like I will give people like solid info and then they try to take like 80% of it, 90% of it, and then they leave out critical parts and they think, and I'm just like, okay, just be careful. So just make sure, because the plan I've been talking about and what I want is that you want equity building, and you need to make sure that who's helping you is tied to that and not a quick commission check. And that's what I've been trying to explain, but I've been seeing it, and I'm watching people. Again, I told you one of those stories the other day, and I saw someone, they're like, should I buy this house? I said, no. I said, do not buy the house. I said, you are overpaying. I said, please do not buy that house. They did not listen. And again, I look at it now and the comps are terrible. I'm pretty sure they lost $50K off the bat and the house needs work. That's why I was like, oh, fuck, dude. So, like I'm saying, bro, I'm telling y'all what it is. You want to do it the way we have, you can. But you could do it your own way too. But I just encourage you to follow some of these rules of thumb. You know, if I don't know if you're going to remix it, I don't know how to remix it effectively without breaking the rules. But just be careful, though, because like I'm saying, I've been seeing people just, they're jumping the gun. That's what it is. You see what I'm saying? I'm giving you a good idea. I'm giving you this, that, and then they're just jumping the gun. They're like, yeah, I know enough. Or no, he doesn't get it. Okay, yeah, boom. No. Oh, yeah, now I'm going to do this now. It's like, dude, this is like money inexperienced 101. I've been there. You know, we're young. We think you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you just got to be patient. I'm trying to advocate patience and equity building. So even Nick, you're like, yeah, every damn listing feels overpriced. It's because it is. Everybody is a crackhead still. But that doesn't mean there's not good deals. So for every 10 houses that are overpriced, there's one that's going at a good price right now. So you got to just be patient. That's why I'm saying don't be exhausted by looking. Don't let it get to you. Don't let that slow you down. You know, don't be paired up with somebody who's impatient and relies on you making a move to make money and hunt. But in a way where you go slow. If it's not there, don't force it. I have been hammering home how the next step for all of you is to buy property. And you got this 5-year, 4-year long-term with me, man. I'm right there with you, bro. I want you to do good. But from day one of this year, I said there's no pressure. I'm not rushing anybody. I don't mean this with rush. I just need, we need to be ready to go. That's why I'm saying get in touch with the cult agent. Get in touch with the lenders. Know what you need. Know what you're missing. Start hunting. If you send me one and I'm like, good deal, you need to have all this ready to go so you could offer right away through the person. Again, working with the right people. But you got, like I'm saying, there's no pressure. And if you can maintain this, Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, you going to get the factory, bro. But the people rushing and trying to force it, bro, it's, again, just that pit has claimed many. And I see it every day, literally. So keep hunting. Do not be discouraged and don't, set your expectations low. That is the reality. You know what I'm saying? When it's all said and done, too, the only way you get disappointed if you think you're going to get a house. If you're like, oh, I'm so close to it. And then right when you think you're close and it's not, then you're going to be like, oh, my. And then you'll feel so tired and exhausted. And then guess what? You're going to stop looking for the next 5 years. So just don't expect anything, but look every day and keep looking and know what you're looking for. And that's what you have to do. And you do that, things will be good. Redfin's open right now, bro. Never closes. Mm-hmm. Ooh, gold's panning for gold, bro? I want to pan for gold. Mm-hmm. Congratulations, man. I hope it was a good deal, and that's what I'm saying. It's a good thing. You need to hear this? Well, nice. Well, email me. I'm going to put you in touch with who you need to. Otherwise, good luck. And don't rush and force it, even then. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, this person wasn't... Dude, this guy wasn't working with a cult agent. And he just was insisting. And I tried to save him. And I was like, bro, I don't care if you use a cult agent or not. I'm like, this house don't comp. Like, I was like, why do you want this house so bad? And I'm like, bro, it's not it. It's not it, bro. And I don't know why. And then he's like, I bought the house like I'd be excited for him. I'm like, dude, even the Zillow estimate is like you got fucked up. So yeah, man. Yeah, we do have agents in Florida. Some of them might be in here right now. But yeah, we have almost everywhere. But like I'm saying, just be wise. And even then, like I said, we have our little system, but even without it, the key is not rushing. Hunting, but not rushing. Because once you get it, it's all worth it. You see what I'm saying? Once you get it, it is all worth it. You get that house at a good deal, good price. It's just like bottom ticking a stock, bro. It's going to be worth it. You're going to love it. So, but that's why I'm saying why don't get emotional. Don't force this if you don't have to. Use equity to buy another property if it's a good deal. So you got your first one. Don't be the jackass who just wants to move. That's what happens a lot. I sense this in the last couple of weeks. Motherfuckers just want to move, bro. Not like houses, stocks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people are still new to this where they just have to move or they feel like they ain't moving. Remember, not all motion is movement. Yeah, the itch of inaction, bro. So that's why I'm saying don't fall for this. You got a house, you did good. What are you talking about? And so why are you going to lever at the highest interest rates in decades? You better have a good fucking reason, and that rhymes with 30% off. No, it is 30% off, 20% off minimum. You see what I'm saying? So I wouldn't pull out. Yeah, it's like playing every hand at poker, straight up. I wouldn't pull out money from one property unless someone's serving me the sheep at the gates the night before. Word to richest man in Babylon. Does that make sense? So you need a really good deal to justify leverage right now on your initial property. Otherwise, I don't think it's the right time. You can't even cash flow. Most people can't really tell you how you're going to make money with that without lying. Seriously. Explain to me how you're going to pull out money at 6%, take out another 6.6% mortgage, furnish it, fix it up, all of it, whatever you need, or get it up to go, and then rent it out, and then you're going to make how much? After expenses, if you get a 6 cap, I'd be surprised. Good for you if you did, but you probably won't. You probably have PMI if you had to lever it up too. That's add another fucking 3%. But do you see what I'm saying? Most property deals, you cannot show me a deal that's profitable without lying. You are lying or inflating something for that deal to really work. Or it has to be a steal of a deal. Would I buy with cash right now? That would be a different story, but it would have to be a good deal. It wouldn't have to be a great deal if I'm leveraging, but cash, it has to be a good one or better than a bond, better or as good as a treasury. 5 cap in a good area, B class or above property. Hope you could buy your first house in the next couple of years. Well, listen, I have done this, and many cult agents have helped Chads do it. I have bought in a house with less than $9,000 to get the keys. I've seen a Chad do like $500 to get the keys. So if you have a job, a stable job, and $10K, you could get a house. And if you have this long term with the job and you've been built and you work at McDonald's even, well, you could qualify for some level of home. You would be surprised. And and here's the deal. If you're going to tell me cap, I'm going to ban you. You know why? Because you're 5 years behind. This ain't new shit that I'm saying. And that attitude allowed you to miss every opportunity in real estate every year. Do you understand? I don't tolerate that. You will become what you think about. So if you believe this shit is impossible, it breaks my heart, and I don't want that for people. But that is what you're going to get. So if you believe it, I'm telling you it is possible. I've seen it done. I've done it with my own hands. I have watched many people do it. But otherwise, I said this 5 years ago. I showed it 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It's not. This ain't. So that's why I'm like, you want to call cap on me now? My brother, that same attitude made you miss everything. So, and it determines your reality, for real. And I think all of you have a right to property and liberty. And it's so important. And that's why I'm saying don't ever believe. That's why I told you, anybody who ever promotes that idea hates you. And anybody who wants to tell you you can never get a home hates you. I don't know if it's on purpose or not, but they hate you. You know why? Because do you remember how many times I told people, I said, save for a down payment? This was 2022, 2023. Even if they were scared to buy stocks, I said, no matter what, every day you have to save for a down payment. Even if you say, oh, I'll never afford this house, you save for a down payment. With that expectation, you're going to get it in preparation. And people said no. They got mad at me. I got death threats for that. Legit, that was a death threat. I got a stalker from that bitch. Stupid. But, dude, they hate you. They hate you so much, dude. To tell you it's out of your reach, you'll never own a home. Like, dude, that's what I'm saying, bro. My family is from Egypt. My parents barely speak English. If I believe this shit, dog, thank God I didn't grow up then. Right now, bro. That's what I'm saying. I could only imagine if I heard that shit and I believed it. Because it's so easy. Yeah, dude. Everyone makes you. What do you mean this is a big task? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not. Like, you've never done it before. It'll be hard. It'll feel scary. But at the end of the day, no, dude, this isn't. We're impossible. I could say some impossible things that'll offend you. Go ask. I'm holding back so heavy right now. Lord, give me mercy. But you know, it's very simple. It's there. Can you elaborate more on what? I love you, Alex. We have a 4-year badge. What the fuck do I need to elaborate on? When it comes to this thing, that's why this is where I have no sympathy for it. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen so many people miss such obvious things. And it's right in front of you now. And we have no room to talk about it. We have no room to ask a question that you knew 5 years ago or a concept that would have allowed you. But you have to keep saving right now, and you all need to prepare for a down payment. You don't tell me it's out of reach unless you hate yourself and hate others. And even if you hate yourself, get a fucking down payment. You might love yourself one day, you know? Because I'm a God, man. God is good. And I believe in you. And I really think y'all need to do that. But you save for a down payment no matter what anybody tells you, no matter what the world looks like. Because when that moment's there, you ain't going to be the one without it. And that's why I'm saying it has to be quick and early. So let's go. Your tech chads for who already own, what do you mean? You scale up. Now you do more. You do more, and then you guys get into private equity and tax strategy. But even with tax strategy, you're going to need real estate. Oh, I need to respond to Tyler. Tyler, I don't know if you're here right now. See, I forgot. You guys get mad at me. I feel bad. Homie's making $1 million a week, and I need to make sure he doesn't get robbed in taxes. But I forgot to email him back. You know, and the guy goes, "Did you answer my email, Josh? I sent 18 emails of houses that are listed, even though you told me not to send the listed ones." Yeah, I forgot. But yeah, because that was something I was telling him. So if you guys are already having money, you touching bread, real estate's going to be important. Trust me. I would love to share with you if you reach that level. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So it's there. You have the down payment in long term. Well, it's the same thing, man. The FHA loans, all of that. Contact call real estate. I do though. I expect a lot out of you guys. And it's like going to college. Some of you have a 4-year badge. That's a degree. So if you don't know the FHA trick by now, why? You know, the multi-units, why? Cap rates, why? We've gone over this. Again, it all now, don't be willing to pay more at a later time when you have it early at a cheaper price. So it's an FHA loan, and then with the commission refund, and you got to start now, but don't look. You have to go and make these steps or it's never going to materialize. Promise you. I don't care what the badge is. So you have to go. You have a job. You have money. Go to the pre-approval. Go talk to the people. Go get, you see what I'm saying? It has to be an everyday process. You have to get and seeing if there was information there. You got to go back and get it now. But unfortunately, I am not able. I'm just not willing to, and I hope you guys see why, because it's not going to help you if this is the mentality that we are living on. Everybody. That's what I'm saying. And most of you're a good guy. That's why I think I could be harsh with you a little bit, and to push you. I want to, Alex. You're an amazing person and you have been great, and you've never sent me the business idea. I'll tell you, bro. Because you know what I realized, Chad? None of you in here don't ever send me a business proposal ever again. I realized it. You know that? We were talking about it the other day. I feel bad. I got to talk to Hanny because I like Hanny, and he was telling me about his business idea today. Yeah. Don't ever send me a business one. You know why? You know what I realized? Every crazy hater who ends up hating and being so hateful, negative, and motivated and all of it, they all sent me a business proposal. They just got butthurt I didn't respond to them, and then they got banned because they didn't offer anything but negativity. I've realized the trend. Because every time I'm like, who's this bitch talking shit? And I enter in their name in my email, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Every time. Every time. But that's what's going to, I'm telling you guys, you are either going to miss the opportunity or you're going to resent me. That's it. I promise you. No, you're good, Josh. Don't get mad. I answered you, right? I think, was that the daycare? I answered you, so I hope you don't get mad at me. But I have noticed a gigantic, it's a crazy. You are 90% likely to be like a major hater or stalker if you send a business proposal and then you get banned. Because they're entitled and they think I was like, oh. But then again, I'm like, dude, it's 3 years later. You're still talking shit on me. Why didn't you do that idea? Yeah. So it's been kind of crazy. But above all else, you have to do it, bro. You need to act. Because like I'm saying, you're either going to miss it or you are going to resent it. You understand, Chad? I don't want that. Let's go. I don't want you to resent me. I don't want you to miss out. I don't want you to pay $300,000 for a $90,000 house. Do you see what I'm saying? You are a Chad. You should have the $90,000 house worth $400,000. You are a Chad. You should know exactly how we could finesse anything. Are you understanding? But if we continue to build up a habit of hardening our hearts, I mean, that's all it is. Is it not? Like, you know what I'm saying? If we build up that habit of taking info, taking opportunity, and not, we're neutering ourselves. That's why I said, bro, it's a prison. We got to break out this shit. We can't be comfortable like that. You have to be, there's two options. So I hope you take it. So Chatadonia, on that note, I've been getting way too hyped on these watch lists, bro. It's an hour and a half. I haven't even ate. Oh, yeah, I got to go. Oh, I wanted to show you guys something, though. I didn't realize it. Because, like, I don't want to play 2K anymore now for a different reason. Are you ready? Bro, I hate that game. I hate it. But I am number 1 on my friend's leaderboard. And I added a bunch of motherfuckers. So now it's just free marketing if I don't play it. Because I'm number 1. Why I got an 89% win rate, bro? I hate that game. I know, bro. I hate it. But now I stock market live on everybody's screen. And now they reminded. And then that's why. How you going to let some of you play with me? How you going to let me long term? No, stop it. All right, man. So, Chatadonia, I love you. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you to the veterans. And that's all I have for you, man. I'm going to go sleep. I need to sleep early, bro. You guys I'm not as hyped, though, from yesterday. Like, yesterday, bro, I love you guys. You know that, bro? I can't explain it, man. The level of, like, love as well as, like, I could fucking take a lion. Bro, I could breathe air and get high. I don't think y'all feel me. I did it already today, bro, in the shower. I'm like, the smell of water gets me geeked, bro. Do you understand? No, bro. And I'm like, for real, bro. I'm so grateful. And that's why I'm like, dude, last night, I don't know. I can't. Just something broke, dude. And this time it wasn't the bonds. And this wasn't a bad breaking. I think chains actually broke. I don't know. I've never said this to you. I've never said anything like this to you in 5 years. I don't think I ever have. And that's why, dude, I'm like, man, nah, I really think it was. And I felt it, dude. And I'm like, and I saw it. And I know it. It's not even every sense. I could go down the list. And that's why I'm like, bro, I love y'all. And that's why I'm saying I got a lot of love. But that's why I said I can't be in your ear telling you dumb shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? I cannot be in your ear telling you to stay in the prison. Like, what are you talking about right now? And just like, this is our moment. And it's not good. Don't be immediate. It's not quickly, but it's like, it's time to break out of things, man. And I love it. And that's what I'm saying. It's a feeling that I'm so grateful for it. And like, it's a different level, bro. It's a different utility. So I'm saying, bro, a shot at the devil is a little different. Breaking out of a prison it's exhilarating. That's what I'm saying. It's heartwarming in the sense of like, bro, I love to watch it. I love to see you just be freed. And that is it, bro. So I look forward to it. And you know, y'all just, I have to do what I have to do. And so do you. And we have to have just a strong accountability towards ourselves. And quite frankly, I know you want me to say we got to hold each other accountable, but fuck all that bullshit. Stop worrying about others if you have not gotten the chains off of your wrist. Do you understand? We need to figure this out. How are you going to get me out of my chain if you're in his? So that's why I'm like, bro, I am not, believe me, I'm not mad at any of y'all. You know, some of y'all, I've seen some bitch shit. I really have. You know, I'm ashamed of some. Yeah, I have many adjectives to describe the behavior. I have no animosity. I am heartbroken, just as I told you. I wish I could give to the random person on the internet I wish I could give to my sister what I have given some of you. But if she won't receive it, I can't do nothing about it, man. You know what I'm saying? There's some of y'all, I'm not trying to bother you. I would love the best for you. Those long-term rants, calling out the long-term, saying, hey, man, that's not a good idea. And you know, I love it because some of you are grown men. You know it. I know it too. You are adults and you are responsible. But you're going to have to handle the ear. There is going to have to be an angel on your shoulder telling you the right answer. And it's your choice to listen to it or not. So, it's just, bro, I am very excited. And I love it, and I feel it, and we saw something yesterday. But at the end of the day, it's for those, you got to take it. And I'm speaking to your future self. You know what I'm saying? And watch. And at minimum, just get a long term, make your rounds, and see me in 5 years. And there you go. There you go. But Chattadonia, I think my body will collapse without protein. So I got to go. But I love you, Chattadonia. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you for everything. And enjoy your evening. Sleep early. Sleep well. And don't forget while we're here, baby. Finger to the sky. To God be the glory. And through the grace of God, no more chains, bro. It's time to get out. So, Chatta, I love you. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you in the morning then. Horna.